Hello and welcome to another episode of Underwear Guys with Big Swords. Don't Google image search that. This week, I made a game for Weekly Game Jam 138. This week's theme was hack, so I made a game about a guy who runs around in his underwear. I made a hack and slash game, so this is a genre that I've never really delved into before, but I thought, what the heck, this should be pretty easy. It was not. So I started by modeling a sword, but I won't talk about that too much because I forgot to take the footage of that. So suffice it to say that it was inspired by Final Fantasy VII's new demo. Moving right along, I decided to make a human character with actual human-like proportions for the first time. I wanted to make something that looked like a claymation, so I went back and looked at some footage from everyone's favorite claymation show, the PJs. Remember the PJs, guys? You don't? Okay. Wow, the animation on this was amazing. Too bad everything else about it sucked. So I started off by making the basic animations like running and jumping. For the running animation, I decided to use this reference that I found on the internet. I knew since this was a third-person game that the player movement was very, very important, and decided to make that my first priority. I worked on making strong third-person platforming controls and fun animations for the characters. I thought it might be funny for the character to scratch his head while standing idle. I think I might have been channeling a One Punch Man type of hero while designing this. After I was happy with my character, I needed a world for this character to inhabit, but I didn't want to do a lot of work, since I am pretty lazy. So I decided making a cityscape would be easy, since the buildings could mostly just be made up of cubes, with a picture of a building as the albedo. That turned out to work pretty well, and it was pretty simple to do too. Once that was done, I just made a plane with a street texture on it, and put all my blocks, buildings, on top of that. And poof, we got ourselves a 3D environment, baby. So now all I needed was some actual gameplay. The most important part of any hack and slash game is the hacking, followed closely by the slashing. But in order to test this, I needed some enemies. So I added some beans to my burrito. I mean, game. Next was adding physics to my beans, because everyone likes bean physics. Once that felt pretty fun, it was time to make these beans into graphics. I went with zombies. Why? Because it was easy, that's why. I basically just copied and pasted my underwear guy and turned his skin green. And added a few teeth in there and removed the mustache, and there you go. I even reused some of the same animations, like running and falling. Um, Also the standing animation, minus the sword. And I was almost done. Not really, but I wasn't really liking the hit sparks. It didn't really feel like slashing or cutting to me, um, even though people had a really positive response to it. So I ended up removing those, even though towards the end I ended up putting them back in, but just smaller. I really wanted to get a feeling of like dismembering flesh, as insane as that sounds. So I referenced one of my favorite PS2 games, Mark of Cree, and I drew some inspiration from that violence. I always really liked that game. I always really liked how it looked really stylized, almost like a Disney cartoon, or like a Pixar animated short, but was like crazy violent. Um, so I really wanted to recreate that in my game. And then the game jam was over. But I still wanted to add a couple more levels, so I did something I never thought I would do. I live streamed. So on my live stream, I created two new levels. One at night. One was at night with a burning city, and the other one was in some crazy Twilight Zone limbo place with giant zombies. This was a fun experience, and I would love to do it again sometime. It was interesting to narrate everything that I was doing and to have a recording of that afterwards. Anyways, there you have it, folks. Underwear Man versus Zombies. What? What do you mean I can't use zombies? I can't use the word zombies in the title? It's copyrighted? Oh, so that's why they never used the word zombie in The Walking Dead. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, so I guess I have to come up with a different name for the game. Let me know in the comments if you have any ideas. And while you're at it, like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your grandma. Um, this week I won't be jamming as I got a commission to make a mobile game. This is like the second or third time that I work with this person. It's a band. So I might make a video about the other games that we've done together, the other projects that we've worked on together. So yeah, I guess download the game. It's free, but you could pay for it if you want. And I'll talk to you guys later.